You need an expensive
Maybe.
microphone to talk about Doom Asylum.
There you go. Yeah.
Yes. Whoa, that is. Oh my God, dude, that was a long. Man, Carrie.
Justin, how's it going?
It's going awesome. How you guys doing?
No, I'm doing pretty good. Aaron, how you doing?
Doing great, man. Staying busy. It's awesome to have Justin come on here and talk about some movies with us, including his new project. So I'm very excited.
All right. First question, Justin. What is your favorite horror movie?
Oh, that's easy. It's The Thing.
The Thing.
Oh,
John Carpenter's The Thing.
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. That movie, it's so fantastic, and to hear him talk about whenever he was going to do it, he's like, I don't know if I want to redo this, and then he just had this awesome idea for it, where you got to see the creature opposed to people walking in and out of doors, and so
Right.
many doors being walked in and out of in that movie.
Oh, totally.
But yeah, I love hearing people talk about those movies, when they made them. And I don't know, have you seen In Search of Darkness yet?
Is that the documentary? Yeah, I think there's two of them, right?
Yes, part 1 and 2, and part 3 is having their thing kick off soon. Their Kickstarter, I think. So we're getting a
Yes.
part 3.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Oh,
excited about.
cool. Yeah. No, I've seen both of them. I love stuff like that.
Hell
Anytime.
yeah.
Yeah,
So is John Carpenter your favorite director too, or?
for sure. Totally. Yep. Christine, like I love The Fog. I mean, he had such a good run. He had the best run of almost anybody, I think.
I'm gonna
And
say I would say my favorite, and this will sound weird because I know he's got a big catalog, but for some reason, and here recently, for some reason, it's really been I really loved it. Prince of Darkness is like that is
totally.
like one of
Uh,
my favorites.
Yeah.
the more I watch it, the more I love it. It's totally like original. It's not really like any other his movies, and yeah, I love it. And I saw that one kind of late too.
Yeah, I don't think I know I saw it back when it came out, on VHS. I would have rented it on VHS, but I mean, I found it interesting back then. But I think the older I got, and the more I could understand the quantum mechanics they were talking about in the
Right? Yeah,
movie, I
exactly.
think that
Yeah.
made it a little bit more enjoyable. But yeah, that's one of my favorites right now.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
I think my favorite John Carpenter, I don't know why, I like Escape from New York. It's cheesy, but I like it.
It's
I
so
like the
cool.
miniatures,
Yeah.
everything they did with that. That's one of my favorite. I always try to at least watch it once a year because I like it that much. I mean, that's one of my favorite John Carpenter movies, besides
Nice.
Halloween.
Yeah.
But
Same here. I love it. It's just super cool. I mean, Snake Plissken's the coolest character, you know, ever.
yeah, we'll forget about Escape from L.A. But
Yeah.
yes,
Yes.
we won't talk about that one.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully, hopefully he'll get around to making Escape from Earth one day.
Starring Jeff Bezos and all the other
Right.
billionaires.
Right.
I guess that with this new feature coming out, the Indiegogo kicked off. I know this will come out the following week, but it just kicked off today. It's on a Tuesday. With this post-apocalyptic kind of thing, I mean, it kind of has that what is it? Golly, I can't even think of it. Mad Max kind of thing. Like,
Oh, totally. Like that's one of my favorite franchises of all time. So I couldn't afford to make a whole post-apocalyptic movie.
yeah,
So 30% of it takes place there, and then the post-apocalyptic people come to the present and cause trouble. So there's still post-apocalyptic stuff all the way through it. So
Well, that's the easiest way to do it. Just send everything to the present.
yeah,
That way,
and if we make a sequel, I can afford. Hopefully, I'll be able to afford it.
well,
Hopefully, I'll be able to afford it.
and I guess like this area, I've been admiring the pictures you've been sharing, which are awesome, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
It kind of reminds me of like kind of, I don't know, is it kind of the same area where they did Beastmaster? Didn't they do Beastmaster out in that area? I mean, it kind of seems like that desert plain kind of feel. I don't know. That's what I see it as.
I can't remember where, and I just watched Beastmaster. I just got that ridiculous box set from Vinegar Syndrome too, and watched the whole thing. And they said in there, it's not the same place, same area. It's the Mojave Desert, and it's the county is San Bernardino, but the city is called Newberry Springs. And we found this old ranch that's kind of run down, and it's right on the edge. And it even has a tiny lake on it, but it's right on the edge of just a massive desert, dry lake bed, mountains, and yeah, it's pretty amazing.
So, what was like your inspiration for this film?
Well, my original inspiration was my daughter. I have a daughter who's 26 now, but I wanted to write. I still remember after we screened our first movie, I asked the girl who played my girlfriend, and we were all so excited. And I'm like, oh, what do you want to be in the next one? Like, would you want me to change anything? She goes, yeah, I want to be cool like you guys. I want to have the cool dialogue. And then I just realized, well, girls like so many more girls like this stuff too. And I thought I'd write something about a single dad. Basically, it's about a single dad and his 8-year-old, totally precocious 8-year-old daughter who reads this comic book called Xanadu Hellfire. And then in the comic book, it talks about how to bring people back and forward from the future. And then she figures it out and brings her favorite character to the present. So the inspiration was my daughter originally, but I totally wanted to make, I love post-apocalyptic movies, love Mad Max. I also wanted to make, get a little Star Wars in there. We have, cool looking characters. We're going to have like alien creatures, and it started to grow. The more we went to this location, the more we wanted to add to it. So we've added more scenes, and we found this incredible female trainer, like a 6-time Kung Fu world champion. She's been training the girls. And then we shot 2 weeks ago, and then I met with them last week, and she's so good that we put her in the movie too. So we wrote a whole extra day's worth of scenes, a whole like Kill Bill type scene of Xanadu going to get trained by this cruel master, and then becoming an expert a year later or whatever. So
yeah, the pictures I'm looking at here on your Indiegogo look pretty good. Look phenomenal.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love the costumes, and it's fun making all this stuff. It's expensive. Sometimes it's cheap. Sometimes it's just a cloak and a helmet off of Etsy from some dude in Germany.
Yeah. No, I mean, and you put it together pretty dang good. I mean, the costume of the lead character, I guess, Xanadu. Yeah, she looks cool with that. It kind of looks like a plague mask, but it looks pretty cool though. I don't know what would you call that? I mean,
it is. I think the guy just the guy did on. I got that one on Etsy too, and he did call it a plague mask, like a plague doctor mask or something.
But it just works. I like the eyes; they're like shiny, and I mean, it just.
I covered the eyes with on both the masks with like a reflective material, so you couldn't see their eyes. I didn't want you to see because the eyes look weird kind of in masks, and I wanted them to look cool. So yeah, and she picked her own. The other thing I wanted to do was like let the girls pick their own costumes, and then come to not pick anything, but just come to an agreement with me. So I just sent them a million pictures, and she picked exactly what I had in my head, which I knew she was the right person for the job.
No, for sure. I mean, it's I don't know. I get a feeling about certain things. I think it's going to catch on really good. That's how I feel. I mean, that's how I feel about just the name grabbed me. I was like, Xanadu Hellfire. That just grabs the hell out of me.
Yeah, so. We've had the name for like 12 years. So.
Oh.
And when I finished the trailer yesterday, and tomorrow I'm going to take it to get colored and stuff. So the trailer's incredible. Like.
Oh, wow.
It's like the best trailer we've ever done, I think.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
So you already got a trailer going for it, just to kind of for promotion and everything. So yeah, definitely I'll be sharing the heck out of that once that hits.
Cool, appreciate it.
So. Yeah, it definitely seems like an ambitious film, but I think it should turn out fine. I mean, I'm just glad that you're not doing because what I see a lot of now are people just trying to mash up two things, like Amityville and something else,
Right.
and it's and it's like,
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, it's like, how about you try something different? You know what I'm saying? And then like
Exactly.
here you are doing something like this, and of course I was impressed with when I saw the Bloodsucker Jones films.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
thank you, man.
the first time I seen that, I was like, okay, this is great. I started, I was telling everybody on Facebook. I think that's when I started following you and just started sharing everything. So yeah, I mean, if this movie is going to turn out like that, I think we're gonna look at something pretty good here.
We definitely have some comedy in it, like Bloodsucker Jones. It's not quite as crazy, but there is definitely there is a character or two from Bloodsucker Jones in the movie. And we're slowly announcing day by day. We're going to introduce people and tell what the characters are, and maybe even a few more will show up, hopefully.
So what was your let's go back to Bloodsucker Jones. What was your inspiration on that one?
Oh, that's easy. So my friend Preston, who plays Bloodsucker Jones, we were making an indie comedy 20 years ago. It was called The Unfortunate Cookie. And we never finished it because I got custody of my daughter when she was 6 and I couldn't afford to keep making it. So I promised myself I would finish a movie someday. And then, but while we were filming that movie, Preston has this really cool deep voice, but he almost sounds like a white dude in the body of a black guy. And I just thought that sounds like a cool vampire hunter. And I just imagine like Shaft, like a vampire hunter. And then I told him about it. I'm like, yeah, I want you to be a vampire hunter. He's all like, oh, like Eddie Murphy and Vampire in Brooklyn. I'm like, fuck no, not like Eddie Murphy and Vampire, like something good. Yeah, he's like, I'll have the hair. I said, no, you have to have an afro. Like, come on, man. So I wrote it back then in like 1999 while we were shooting that other movie. And then I took it out of a drawer in 2008. And then we bought a pair of white platform shoes just as inspiration. And we thought there's no turning back. We bought the shoes. We spent $50. We're screwed. We got to make the movie now.
Now, was that before Black Dynamite or?
It was.
Did you guys come out? Okay, that's why I was wondering.
I think our movie came out after Black Dynamite, but we started filming before Black Dynamite ever came out because it took 5 years to finish.
So they stole the idea from you.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Jai White owns a copy of Bloodsucker Jones.
Does he? That is awesome.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh man.
We were at a convention and he came running. He was a guest at a convention we were at, and he ran over to our table with his wife. He's like, "What the hell is this? How have I never heard of this? Who's keeping this a secret from me?" or something like that. And I'm like, "It's not a secret anymore." And he picks it up and he's looking at the DVD and he goes, "This should be a movie." And his wife's all, "It is a movie. You're holding it." And he was so excited. And so I'm like, "Hey man, we got to give you a copy." I said, "We started filming this before Black Dynamite, but like, we went to a Black Dynamite screening and we got a Black Dynamite coloring, like a comic book signed by him. So we're huge fans by that time." And he was so excited and he walked away. And that was like the biggest. We were so pumped after that.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, he was so excited he didn't know he was holding the movie.
Exactly.
You're like, yeah, you can have a copy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we couldn't afford it, but we tried to get the guys who did the score for Black Dynamite to do a song for us, but the song was like a third of our budget probably.
Oh wow.
And but if we ever have a bigger budget, we'll I definitely want him to play his dad for sure.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
Man.
Yeah.
That would be excellent. That'd be the greatest thing ever.
So do you have a third one in mind, or?
Yeah, it's pretty much written. It's called Bloodsucker Jones and the Princess of Darkness.
Awesome.
And we have 3 and 4. I have a 4th one almost written. It's called Bloodsucker Jones 4000, Planet of the Space Bastards.
So
it's just like the thing we will just throw the kitchen sink. It's every movie. It's like Flash Gordon meets Star Wars meets Mad Max. Totally takes place in like a post-apocalyptic like Flash Gordon future, and it'll be really expensive, and then we can die if we make that one.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're pretty quick at writing. What's your like you just sit down and just come up with an idea and pound it out, or
Yeah, I usually like come up with jokes or scenes and I write them down in my phone or on pieces of paper. Then I'll sit down and put them all together in kind of an outline, and then I'll just keep rewriting and adding to it. So I wrote that one over like years because sometimes I wouldn't write for months, and then sometimes I would write like crazy. But I also try to write things to sell. So I wrote a couple movies that there's no way I could make, and I was going to a Days of the Dead convention in Texas, and they canceled it, and I couldn't cancel. Either it was my flight or my hotel I couldn't cancel. So I had this idea for a horror script, and I said, okay, I'm going to go to this hotel. I got 4 days booked there. I'm just going to go there, and I haven't been to Texas since I was a kid, probably, and only at the airport. And I went and stayed in this hotel. I just ate at Denny's every day. I never went anywhere in Texas. I just sat in my hotel room, and I wrote the script in 5 days as feature. And I finished at the airport. As soon as they were calling my flight, I was actually typing the end, which was totally
Oh
shocking.
wow.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to sell that one.
So where do you live now? Like where do you?
I'm in a city called Lake Forest, which is in South Orange County. So not far from like Laguna Beach, Newport Beach, Disneyland,
Awesome.
like an hour south of LA.
Oh, okay. So like what's the end? I mean, I'm sure I've seen a lot of like indie movies coming out of like California, that kind of California area. What's it like where you're at?
There's definitely a lot of filmmakers. Definitely like a big community. You know, like my DP, the guy I work with, Randy, he makes movies too. So this is our fifth movie working together, helping each other. So he can do special effects, like I do production design on his stuff, and yeah, we have a lot of friends that make movies, and there's definitely a huge, this is where like Adam Green is in LA, and all the people, like Adam Wingard and the people who made VHS, all those people, so many people in LA. So it's a big community, which is cool.
Now, when you're writing like the Bloodsucker Jones script, are you outside of writing? Are you a funny person, or like how do you come up with like your jokes and?
I think so. I think I'm funny. I mean, I make people laugh. I think I make people laugh. I mean, that's my favorite thing to do, is just make somebody laugh. So, and I just take jokes from everyday things. Like we'll just be, like for example, like in the movie, our second movie, there's a character called French Fries.
Yeah.
And that was our second movie. And during the first movie, we were filming in a tunnel, and we're walking through this tunnel, and we were filming illegally and stuff, but we came across this graffiti that said "fuck French fries." And I was like baffled by it, because I'm like, everybody loves French fries. Who the hell is mad at French fries? So I'm like, French fries must be a person if they're saying "fuck French fries." So like everyone's like gathered around the graffiti. I'm like, dude, in our next movie, we're gonna have a character called French Fries, and someone's gonna say the words "fuck French fries," and we're just gonna reverse engineer that character and make it in, put it in the movie. So tons of stuff like that always happen to us.
Any like any of the real life conversations that are funny that work it make it into your scripts, or?
Oh, always. Like we say, that's a funny name, or that's a cool thing. Like write it down, and I just put it in the notes in my phone, and then I look at it later. The problem is I don't remember half the shit, and I look at the notes and it doesn't make any fucking sense. So I have tons of notes, yeah, that make no sense whatsoever.
What
Yeah.
No, you've done some acting too. I mean, even outside of your films. I was looking through. I noticed you were in Species, right?
Yeah, I was an extra in Species, like when she steals a car and abandons it at Venice Beach. I'm just in the background like a looky-loo. So that's how I started, is just being doing extra work. So I just did that full time as my job for 3 years. So I worked on Seven and Clueless and 90210 and Party of Five, and
Wow.
and it was fun, but I had a kid, and then I couldn't do it anymore. So I just kind of did it part time, and I did it when and And then I did local commercials with friends. That's how I met Bloodsucker Jones, doing commercials. And then we did like 40, 50, 100 commercials together. And then we started acting and doing short films. And then my friend put me in his like senior thesis film. And then I got the bug to write and be in other stuff. And then once you do stuff, you meet all these people and they go, hey, will you be in my movie? And I go, oh, cool. Hey, well, you want to help us do something? And it's just all this massive, ridiculous community of people now.
Yeah, it's cool to like have that many, that many people around you that also want to, do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Probably makes it a lot easier.
Oh, totally.
Aaron, I think he was going to say something there.
Oh
before I
yeah,
cut
no,
you
no,
off.
that's fine. Hey, I want you to ask questions. No, I was just looking at the for Xanadu Hellfire. I was looking at the perks and everything, and I think there's a lot of ones that people will be interested in, and they're not too crazy. Like some people price these really outrageous.
Yeah.
But I mean, executive producer, $500, but also, I mean, you get the Blu-ray, you get the T-shirt, special nickname. I was curious about the special nickname. I'm like, what's a special nickname?
Well, we did it last time on our movie, and basically we just had, I said it was Bloodsucker Jones, but it was just me coming up with nicknames. So I just thought of stupid nicknames like Laser Wolf and just dumb shit like that.
Oh, okay.
so in the credits, there's thank yous at the end of Bloodsucker Jones too, and it's just like, yeah, it's got their name, but it's got their nicknames as well, and people loved it, so we just kept doing it.
Oh no, I love the idea. For $500 you get, just a lot of stuff, plus the executive producer, and then of course we go to the producer perk, which is very cool, 250, which is not bad.
Yeah, a lot of times they're in the thousands sometimes.
Oh no, it's I've seen them. I just seen them get up there.
Well, I've seen it be around the same price, but you're just getting the producer credit on IMDb.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
anything,
no,
you're not getting anything tangible out of it.
I couldn't do that. I agonized over those perks. I'm like, man, I got to give them a little more. I got to give them something, like another thing or something. It's like,
no, it seems more. What I'm seeing seems more than fair. 125 for associate producer. Again, you get a bunch of stuff. I'm really interested in the Sucka's Badass Burgers Cup and the Fry Box prop. There's a lot of cool stuff. And of course, the DVD Blu-ray combo and the digital download plus a nickname is $25. So if you can't go into the hundreds, there you go, yeah. 25 and then 35 for the shirt. Like I said, I think all the prices that you put out are very reasonable, and I think you're being generous too.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, I looked at a million Indiegogos and just tried to kind of compare. And
yeah, I'm glad you don't. I'm glad you don't have a lot of perks. I went to some of these where you just keep scrolling, and it's like, okay,
oh, yeah, there's like 100. I've seen like 100 perks. We'll add a few more perks here and there. We might give away some props and some different things. And if people ask us for a certain perk that I didn't put there, I'll just create a specific one for them.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah. Oh yeah. I was yesterday. I was looking at one, and I swear they had 100 different perks.
It does get a bit much.
Yeah.
And like you said, as your production goes on, you'll probably think of something like, okay, maybe someone will want that. Or I like how you said that. You'll take suggestions, people are like, hey, how about, Xanadu sword or something, something like it along those lines. So
yeah, I noticed you didn't have die in the movie. That's always a popular one.
Yeah, die in the movie.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I'm still thinking about that one. Like, because we definitely need some, we have a lot of people volunteering, wanting to be extra, especially in the post-apocalyptic stuff. And yeah, that's definitely, and that can raise a lot of money because people pay a lot of money to be in the movies. That's a possibility.
Now, sure. You wouldn't have, I don't know the technical parts of that. Would you pay for their flight and hotel and all that? Or would you just say, look, you're just paying us to be in the movie. You got to handle everything else yourself?
That's how I
that,
figured.
that's how they normally do it. I've had a couple friends that they had the same perk in their Indiegogos, and yeah, there's a disclaimer like you should be local, but if you don't, but you're welcome to be in the movie. If you don't live in the area, you just have to pay for your flight and accommodations and stuff like that.
So
No,
are you going to have is this going to be mainly practical effects? You're going to have some CGI in it, I'm assuming.
A mix of both. It's not quite as bloody because there's a lot of kids in it and stuff. So it'll probably be on the border of PG-13 and R. It depends. We'll have some CGI just because it's quicker, and if it looks good, we'll try to do practical stuff. And there's going to be a shit ton of like just special powers, and like they can shoot like lasers and stuff and lightning from their hands, and so it's going to be like more effects heavy in that sense.
No, you'd have to have that CGI in.
Yeah,
you can't practical effects that.
Yeah, portals opening up, and yeah, they can do all sorts of cool things. So.
No, but that's
so
awesome.
you can just do that old school animation style.
Right. That'd be funny. I'll save that for a Bloodsucker Jones movie because that would be funny. Totally animated.
So you said in the movie she's reading a comic book. Is there going to be maybe that's not part of a perk anywhere, but you do have drawings actually. I'm sorry, I correct myself.
Yeah, I might. It depends what the comic book looks like. It might be a perk. We have the cover almost done of the comic book. I'll probably post it pretty soon. We're just waiting for one more piece of animation, and then we have to, because some of the scenes go from live action right into the panel in the comic, or it goes from the panel right into the comic book in the present. So we kind of bounce back and forth. So we need to we shot some reference photos on our first day of shooting that we can like have someone, make. And we actually had a girl. We actually wanted to find a girl to do the comic book since it's about girls, and that was a pain in the ass. But we actually found somebody, and it turned out really cool. It's a pretty cool cover, and we took like an old school Conan comic and kind of modeled it after some of the little bits and pieces, that cool stuff that are on the front, little banners and stuff. But that's I'd like to do that as a perk if we can get them printed, and we probably can't afford to make a whole comic though. It would probably just be a bunch of pages repeating itself.
Yeah.
with a cool cover,
You just fill it full of ads.
Yep. Yeah, totally.
5-page story, and the rest of it's just ads.
Yeah. I got a couple of friends who make comic books, so I can just put our cover over their comic book probably.
There you go. No, or make it could be a cool poster or something. You never know.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I just, I think I've said it before, but I do like how you're having these original ideas. These are coming from, your mind and bringing them to life, especially Bloodsucker Jones. And now you got Xanadu Hellfire. And then you also have some other sequels in mind.
Yeah.
But I look forward to it because I know a guy like you're always thinking, and you might hit something else and you're like, oh, I want to do something, crazy with this idea. Do you think you'll ever do like a little, like a 80s horror type movie with blood, guts, and everything? Like,
I'd like to.
Trash.
I did always want to make a slasher movie of some kind, with like a Michael Myers or a Jason type character. That's definitely in my head. So that's a possibility. If I did a horror movie, like a straight horror movie, that's what it would be. It'd probably be a slasher movie or a werewolf movie, because there's not enough werewolf movies, and I love werewolf movies.
Oh,
yeah, we're definitely locking in the werewolf movies.
Yeah, it's tough to make a werewolf movie.
Yeah, because from what I hear, the people that are very like they're werewolf fanatics, you got to be like they're very brutal. Like, where's its tail, or if it has a tail, why does it look like that? I mean, people are very. They like their werewolves a certain way.
You won't get away with a shitty werewolf. Like,
no, you won't. Yeah. You can't. You try. You can try.
Yeah.
What's your favorite werewolf film?
Um, who? I mean, I do like American Werewolf in London, but I like Bad Moon a lot because
Wow.
That's a good one.
Bad
Yeah.
Moon has my favorite werewolf because that werewolf is so vicious, and there's a transformation in it that's total garbage. But
Yeah.
the practical werewolf is amazing because it's like fighting a German Shepherd and it swats the German Shepherd and the German Shepherd jumps on its back.
Wow.
And it's not as good a movie as American Werewolf. So I mean, I'd probably just say I'm trying to think.
I'll tell
I'm
you,
probably
my top one's American Werewolf in London, and then most recently, number two has been Dog Soldiers.
yeah, I do love Dog
Yeah.
Soldiers a lot. Yes,
I
that's what I wasn't thinking. Yeah, I know there's a couple I'm not thinking of that
oh,
I do
mine's the
like a lot.
Howling. Mine's the Howling all the way.
The Howling has my favorite transformation. I actually like that better than the American Werewolf in London transformation. It's
I do
just,
too.
it's like
A lot
really,
of people say that.
it's dirtier. It's just like a meaner looking thing. You
It's
know?
how the lighting is. Like American, nothing against the American Werewolf in London transformation scene. It's badass in its own right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of light, and you get to see it, and that's how they wanted it. But for some reason, like the Howling, when I first saw that freaked me the hell out. When he's transforming, it's all dark and the lights, how everything's just, it just looks more scary. You've got
Totally.
this tall freaking werewolf, and I've always said that the Howling werewolves are it's my favorite one.
I love it. Yeah. That's one of my all-time favorites for sure.
But Bad Moon, I'm surprised you said Bad Moon. You caught me off guard.
I mean,
'Cause I was like,
it's not a great movie. Like and the acting's not very good, but that werewolf is so fucking awesome
you're right.
that it gets me every time. But
I may have to rewatch that one now.
yeah, just for the werewolf,
Yeah.
but I definitely like Dog Soldiers is a better movie. American Werewolf is a way better movie. Yeah, those are Howling. Those are all way better movies.
Yeah, so you should just do Bloodsucker Jones versus werewolves.
I want to so badly.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I definitely want to.
No, I think I would like to see something like that, man. Especially because I think we all think like that. We want to do a slasher movie. We're like, oh man, I want to do my own slasher movie. I got this idea. I think all of us that kind of aspire to make a movie want to make our own slasher.
Oh yeah, totally.
So I'm very interested. I know you'll come up with something, but I'm very interested to see your take on that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll at least write one, even if I don't make it. Just maybe to see. So
you never know.
You never know.
Inspiration might hit you. But
yeah, I just went to a screening of my friend Randy. He's our DP. He's the one I make movies with. And he made a movie called Like Dogs, and it's like a horror thriller about like people chained up in a animal shelter, humans. Wow. And that came about because when we went to go scout a hospital location for the last Bloodsucker Jones, we went there at 11 at night. There was almost no power, so there's just like a light at the end of the hallway, and it's the scariest place I've ever been in my entire life. And as soon as he walked in, within 1 minute, he said, I'm going to make a movie here. I'm going to write it and I'm going to make a movie. And within 2 years, we were there filming it.
Oh, wow.
And it was all based on the location. It just hit him. He's all, I see people chained up in that kennel right there. I'm like, all right, man, work that out. And, and he made an awesome movie and he did it. Most people say they're going to do it and he fucking did it because if he says he's going to do it, he just does it. And,
Yeah, that's me. I say I'm going to do it, and then I just don't.
It's so much easier to not to. Like,
yeah, I know.
I watched some comedian yesterday and goes, there's no better feeling than when you like cancel plans.
Yeah.
And you just get to do nothing. Like, so I totally feel that way.
I mean, I still want to do it. I just don't have the people around me that also want to do it. So I'm just sitting out here alone in West Virginia.
Oh, so I grew up in Maryland, so I've been to West Virginia.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. My dad lives in Virginia. Well, that's cool. What city?
I am, well, the easiest way I could describe it would be I'm closer to, let's say, Charleston, which is the capital.
Gotcha.
Because if I say Kimberly, you're not going to know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Where in the sticks is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like you meet different people and everybody has a idea and a lot of people go for it, and yeah, it might not be the greatest ever, but at least they went for it. And
You'll
I
have
always
fun
respect
doing
that.
it. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, if you had fun doing it, yeah, it's probably not going to be the best thing ever, but at least you went and did it, and you
Yeah.
say you did it.
Well, how did you guys meet if you're in different states?
We just well, how I came across Carrie is I used to have I had my first podcast, and I was doing research. I was like, how am I going to do this? I didn't have a freaking clue. And then I ran across a podcast from beneath, and it was Carrie, Billy, which is still here, and then Eric. And I liked it. I was like, these guys are funny. I like their take on this. And then me and Carrie just, I'll still remember that, dude. I sent you that text or that message. I said, hey, I just listened to all the podcast. I think there was 5 at the time. I listened to all your episodes. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I forgot what you said, but I still remember telling you that. I think you said, I didn't think anybody listened or something like
Yeah.
that. But that's how we came to be. And then my other podcast fell apart. And then Eric left to do his own thing. And then Carrie asked me to join him. And it was kind of a mutual thing. I kind of needed somewhere to go. So he was like, I was like, hey, you still want a third? He's like, yeah, come on. So, and there you go. I mean, it's just gone from there. But yeah, that's how we started this whole thing. And that initial idea, it's scary. It's scary because you're like, I don't know what I'm going to say. What if I say the wrong thing? Or is anybody going to listen? And if they do, why? I don't know if I'm going to listen.
Right.
But we went for it. And I mean, what we were saying, almost 3? It's almost 3 years?
Almost 3 years now, yeah, since I started it.
Yeah.
How many episodes?
Probably close to 200 now.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
So
I didn't even know
we're
that.
getting up there. Yeah.
I got a lot of work to do. I got to catch up. But
I didn't even know.
Yeah,
I listened to your Midsummer one. I listened to your Hannah
love that.
Feynman one, I think.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah,
And-
that was good.
And I'm partway through the Doom Asylum one because I'd seen Doom Asylum, so I'm like, oh shit, someone's talking about Doom Asylum. I got to listen to that. So,
Yeah,
That's my fault.
I would just recommend don't go back too far because they start that's the worst ones.
No, you're too hard on yourself. No, y'all covered a lot before I got, and then when we just kind of took turns, just took turns on choosing movies and stuff, and now we got William. He's a part of the show now. So I think is he an honorary a podcast from beneath her, I guess we can call it.
Oh yeah, he's full-time member now. So
All right. So yeah, and he directed Demon Resurrection. So William
Cool.
Hopkins. Yeah, he's a part of the podcast now.
Where's he located?
New York.
Okay.
So West Virginia, New York, and Texas.
You spreading yourselves out there.
That's
I
it.
guess, man. You gotta get the word out somehow.
Oh, totally.
No, but we met some awesome people, and I put you in that category, man. And I know me and you talked before on Rabbit and Red Radio, my little show on there. But yeah, I like I told you, me and Carrie, it was funny because I had found Bloodsucker Jones and the Creeping Death on Amazon Prime, and then he asked me, he goes, "Hey, have you seen it?" And he told me, and I was like, "Yes, I just watched that like 2 days ago."
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't that a fun movie? I was like, "Yes, I love it. It's great. I love the comedy in it." So it was just funny that me and him, we just happened to watch it and didn't tell each other about it until he asked me, "Have you seen this?"
Oh, I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah. So your movie's getting out there. People are watching.
We got a lot of really good feedback, and at conventions we get a lot of people running up to us quoting the movie, like quoting stuff to me.
Hey, that's awesome.
I don't even remember what the fucking quote is for. I'm like, what is that from? He's like, that's from your movie. I'm like, oh shit, okay. I'm like, thank you. And it's totally flattering. It's like, and from little kids up until like people like 60, 70, or just girls, guys, like all really like it. I was just like, whoa, totally blown away by that.
Yeah, when I was just browsing through and I saw it, and the name's what got me. I was like, okay, I
Yeah.
have to watch this.
That's it.
Yeah, we're good at naming stuff. We just start there. If we got a good name, at least we got your attention.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's the thing. You have an awesome, like it's a attention grabbing name. Like, you know, two guys like us, you know, just sitting on the couch looking for something to watch. We see a name like that. Okay, we got to see it. But you have it is a fun movie. You can have a badass name and then we tune into it and like 5 minutes in, like, screw this. This is not good at all.
Oh,
but you know what I mean?
totally.
It just, it seems like I'm kissing your ass, but that's why
Please
I'm
do.
being honest.
I appreciate it.
I'm just being honest.
No,
because
I appreciate that because it costs so much money and we had made no money. So this is my payment. It's just you being nice and both of you liking it.
I'm
It's
not
like
worthy.
totally.
No,
No, it's the best. I tell people, like, the best thing is I get to, after this, when I talk to you and talk to different people, and I'll text everybody. It's like, hey man, I was on a podcast. I go, they said this about it. And like, you know, they both found it at the same time and they just get chills. They love it. Like, it makes them feel good that people care about it after all this time. And, you know,
it just
No.
takes a while.
Now, is
Go
it
ahead.
still currently on Prime? Is it still available on there?
it's on Amazon Prime, but it's not on Prime for free anymore.
Yeah, okay,
It's just for rental because I think it was exactly at the 1 year mark they took it off Prime. Probably because, I mean, but it was getting steady. People watched it every single day. Somebody, like multiple people every single day for a full year, which is really cool. But unless it's like a super hit, they'll take it off and leave room for other things on Primes. But
Right,
luckily
yeah.
they kept it on for rentals, and we still get rental. It's on Vimeo too, and we have the Blu-rays on Amazon.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the Blu-rays. You got Blu-rays for both of them?
Yeah, we just came out with the Blu-ray for the first one, so we
Yeah.
put a bunch
And-
made a double-sided cover, and we put a tons of extras.
Shameless
Yeah,
promotion.
yeah. Tons of extras. But I'll send you a copy free if you send me your address.
Oh, I can do that. Yeah, I appreciate that.
No, yeah,
And
appreciate
I'll have
it.
to,
Yeah.
I'll have to send you some stickers or something.
It's got some really cool extras. It's got this dumbest blue. If you, Aaron, have you watched the blooper thing on there
I
yet?
haven't watched the blooper
Okay,
thing. I need
just
to.
watch. I'm not going to tell you about it. But it's the stupidest thing I think we ever came up with, and it worked perfectly. So it's probably my favorite thing on there. But there's a couple really stupid extras we put on there. It's totally worth it just for that stuff.
Any Easter eggs? Any Easter eggs I gotta look for?
There was no like actual Easter eggs where you got to search, but there's just the menu is just packed from head to toe with just there's like a Canadian promo we did, which almost no one's ever seen. There's a whole thing of the guy Matt Kelly, who plays the bad guy, Stuart the vampire, the bad guy in both movies. He just recorded all these stupid videos in his apartment, and I think I put on there, don't press this button. It's on the front menu. Whatever you do, don't press this button. And if you press it, it just goes to him sleeping, or it goes to him like cooking breakfast or playing guitar or opening his mail. And then you can't get out of it. You have to go through every video to get out of it. Or you have to shut your DVD player off, I think. So it's really dumb.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
good.
man.
Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed the Bloodsucker Jones movies. And I'm really looking forward to Xanadu whenever you get it. When do you think you'll have it done?
I think our goal is to have it done by the end of next year, but I'd like to get it done enough to submit it to like Fantastic Fest. And it's probably the perfect festival for it. You know, I've submitted there twice and got rejected, but this might be the movie that they like the best. So it's definitely our highest budget movie. It'll look the best. We're shooting it in 8K, which
Oh, wow.
is absurd. And
Yes.
yeah, so you don't even have to do close-ups. You can just punch into a close-up because it's so ridiculous. So that's our goal, is to hopefully have it, you know, maybe by next summer have a rough cut, or at least a cut we can send to a couple of cool festivals. So
What kind of camera are you using?
it's an 8K Red Dragon, I think. So it's just shocking how good it is.
That sounds interesting. I wish I knew my cameras, but
Well, I think they've shot a million features on it, but I think they shot like the last Guardians of the Galaxy on it, and
oh wow.
I was gonna say I know the Red brand is like pretty big with like independent filmmakers because they're not like I can't afford one, but I guess they're not studio pricey. Where,
and studios still use them.
Yeah, and I guess you can rent them too. So
oh, totally, yeah. Luckily, our DP owns one, so
there you go.
It's the best.
My brother, he got the new iPhone 13, and he did it's just a video of my nephew running in the yard, and he used the cinematic thing just to check it out.
Yeah,
and it blows me away that the phones. You could make a movie off the phone. I have the iPhone 12, and I can shoot in 4K. It's like there's the camera right there.
Well, there's movies they were in Sundance Film Festival that were released. Shot
that movie,
on a freaking iPhone.
What was that movie? Unsane was
Unsane,
shot on an iPhone.
Yeah, the Steven Soderbergh movie.
Yeah. I think Red. I think they even made a phone that had their camera stuff in it.
They did make a phone.
Yeah,
it's not. They don't have it anymore. It didn't work out great, but they had a really cool phone for a really short period of time. They're right down the headquarters is like 2 miles from me.
See, that's it. I just got to move out of the state.
Yeah. Yeah, come down to Texas, dude.
Yeah, everybody's going to Texas.
Or go to California or somewhere.
We have to do that. So Indiegogo.com, and then just search for Xanadu Hellfire.
Yeah, and you can look if you go to our social media, there's a link on all of our bios. So if you just go to Xanadu Hellfire, and Xanadu is XANADU. Some people have never heard the word before, might think it's a Z, but we put the link in all the bios so people could easily click on it. And hopefully you just search it and it will pop up right away and not be confused with any other Xanadu Hellfires.
Yeah. No, it's funny because you go and I typed it in the Google search bar, and it's like the second Xanadu that shows that it's Xanadu and then Xanadu Hellfire. You click on Xanadu Hellfire and you see all, Bloodsucker Jones. You see everything that has something to do with you. So,
cool.
People put it in the search bar, Xanadu Hellfire, and you'll find it. It's not hard.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter,
sure.
Or Twitter's Bloodsucker Jones. I'm not going to make a Xanadu Hellfire Twitter because I just can't handle anymore.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's too much. It's too much.
Well, we do have a Xanadu Hellfire Instagram for all the pictures and video and stuff.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll have to track that one down. I follow you on the Facebook, so that's usually where I spend most of my time, because there's just like with you, there's just too many. Like I've got my own Twitter. I've got a Twitter for the show, and I'm just like, it's just too much.
I'm everywhere. I'm on, I think, every social media thing. I'm on Snapchat. I'm on TikTok. I'm all over the place.
I don't understand
too
TikTok.
Much.
I don't get it. I guess I'm just turned to a boomer. I'm just Facebook.
No. It's great for making videos and putting music to it because no one can tell you shit. You can put, a Metallica song to something that you're advertising and no one can tell you anything. It's in their library. They pull it off of Spotify. It's weird. It's weird. I know.
I'm just waiting for people to start making movies on TikTok, and it's going to be horrible.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Justin, I want to thank you for joining us. Like I said, I look forward to it. I'll have links for all this stuff on our show, all of the Indiegogo and all that stuff.
I appreciate that. And when will this air so I can tell people about it?
This will be out. What is today? Tuesday. This will be out next week. Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Yeah. Is when this one will come out.
I'll share it. People will definitely check it out if we share it, that's the goal.
That is the goal. Yeah. Now, like I said, I can't wait to, see this one, and then when this one comes out, you can come back on, or if you decide to do a slasher movie, you can come back on and talk about that.
That'd be
Or
awesome.
if you just want to come on and talk about
Talking about movies.
Doom Asylum.
Yeah. Anytime. Yeah. If you need a third or a fourth or whatever, I'll come talk about something.
Oh heck
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
for
well,
sure, man.
I would look
Love to
forward
have
to
you.
it.
Cool.
But yeah,
Thank you. I appreciate it. Both you guys. I really appreciate what you're doing. I like your podcast. I
you.
genuinely actually like it because I made it past one episode and I still wanted to listen, which is really good.
Yeah. That's good to hear.
Because you're having fun and you're funny. So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that,
that's the important part.
translates, you know.
Yeah, wait till you get to our later episodes. They're a lot more enjoyable.
Right.
But again, yeah, thanks for coming on here, and I look forward to talking to you again.
Cool. Thanks, guys.